What's good, YouTube, and welcome to Rajay Player One, where we got you covered for all things streaming and content creation.
Turn it up.
How I'm supposed to feel when they just count me out.
Anything like me and 90% of the world right now, then you thought about becoming a content creator. Whether it's streaming on Twitch or Kick, YouTube or TikTok, almost everybody has thought about putting out content at some point. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down everything you need to go ahead and rip the band-aid off and go live for the first time, no matter what your budget is. I have two builds for you guys today. One of them is going to be a budget build, meaning the best possible products for the cheapest price so we're not breaking the bank. And then the second is going to be my personal build, which is going to let you stream at 4K 60 frames per second, which is the highest quality available. I've been taking about 2 to 3 months really dialing in this setup, so I hope everybody likes the video. Go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button. We're going to get into it. Last thing before we start, you don't have to run to the store and buy everything all at once. Take your time, grab a couple of pieces here and there, and I promise you when you grab that last thing to complete your setup, it'll feel so much better, like you really completed something. So really treat this like an investment, put some time and energy into your craft, and I promise you everything will work out. I'm gonna list everything in order from most to least important so you guys have an idea of which order to grab these things. But these first few are gonna be what I call non-negotiables. So these are gonna be the basics you need to run your stream, even though it doesn't have to be these specific products. Everything is gonna be linked in the description below just in case you guys wanna follow along and start your build. So let's get into it. First thing on the list is gonna be your console. For the budget build, we're gonna go with the PS5 Slim Digital Edition, going for $449. And for my personal build, we have the PS5 Slim Disc version, which is going for $499 right now. The second thing on this list is a headset. I chose the Wolflaws wireless headset for $26.99, plus there's a 25% off coupon on Amazon. I chose this headset because it's Bluetooth and it has the wireless USB dongle, and you'll see why both of those are important later. And for the 4K build, I went with the PlayStation Pulse Elite, which goes for $149. Now that we have something to play, we can hear it, sounds pretty good. We need a way to see what we're playing. And if you're like me, you've only ever played on a TV and you probably still think the bigger the better, right? A gaming monitor is probably what you need to take your gaming to that next level. We want to make sure it's at least 120 FPS so it can keep up with the PS5. And for this build, I chose the 24-inch Sansui 1080p 180 FPS monitor for $98.09. And for the 4K build, I chose the Sony InZone M9 for $898. It's 27 inches and 144 FPS. Been using this monitor for about a month now, and I can say it's honestly the perfect monitor for the PS5. Taking a look at the total, we're looking at $574 for the budget build and $1542 for the 4K build. Now that we got the basics covered, we need a way to send the game from our PS5 to Twitch. And you could use the built-in Twitch app on the PS5, but that kind of limits what you can do as a streamer. So the best option is to use something called a capture card, and that's really going to let us dial in our stream. There's plenty of budget capture cards on the market, but you want to make sure you choose one that has a line in port so you can capture your chat audio. We're going to go with this one for $21.59. It's going to allow you to play at 1080 60 frames per second, which is what most streamers are using. For my personal build, I went with the Elgato 4K-X. It's a little overkill because 4K is still in beta on Twitch, so you could definitely go with the Elgato HD60 or even the Elgato Capture Neo. Now we need a computer to tie everything together. There's a million different computer options you could choose. I like Macs, so we're going to use those in today's video. But if you like Windows, just make sure you have a computer with at least 8 gigabytes of RAM so we know it's powerful enough to run your stream. The best option for the budget build is going to be the M1 Mac Mini for $452.99. And I recommend the Apple M chips, but if you have an older Intel chip, just make sure you have at least 8 gigabytes of RAM so it's powerful enough. Now for my build, I have the M2 Pro MacBook Pro, but you can find the M3 for about $1,000 less on Amazon, so I will go ahead and grab that for about $13.99. Those last two things were pretty expensive, so we're gonna check back in at the total. Looks like on the budget, we're at $1048, And on the 4K build, we're at 3171. If you're just trying to get started on Twitch, you don't want to be a full-blown content creator, then a webcam is going to be perfectly fine for you. For the budget build, we're going to go with the Lenovo HD webcam. It's $24.99, it's 1080p, and most of the time you're just going to be a small box on the screen anyway, so the webcam doesn't have to be too crazy. And for the 4K build, I'm going to give you two options. The first one is the Insta360 Link. It has face tracking, HDR, gesture control, and a bunch of cool other features for $249.99. If you're thinking about going all-out content creator and not just streamer, then go with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. This thing is the perfect handheld device for content creation. It's 4K, has face tracking, and the gimbal keeps the camera super steady, so your footage always comes out super clean. And if you just get the camera itself, it comes with the battery, the protecting case, and that's it for $519. And the creator combo comes with everything on the table for $669. One last non-negotiable you're gonna need before you're ready to go live. The mic on your headset only lets you talk to the people on the game. So if you actually want your stream to hear you, you're gonna need a separate mic. For the budget build, we're gonna get the Coco Nice USB mic with the mic arm for $33.99. For the 4K build, I went with the Elgato Wave 3 for $129.99. And I promise this video isn't sponsored by Elgato. They just make really solid streaming equipment. And while we're talking about audio equipment, might as well throw the Chatlink Pro in there because both builds are gonna need this, whether you're on the budget or the 4K build. Now that we covered all the basics, you're finally ready to go live.
Psych, I lied.
There's a few things you're gonna need to make your stream look and feel more professional and to just improve your streaming experience. You just spent all this money on your nice streaming equipment. It only makes sense that you're gonna want somewhere to put it. So the next thing on this list is gonna be your desk. We want to make sure we have enough room for everything that goes into the setup. So we're going to choose an L-shaped desk. And for the budget setup, I went with this one for $59.99. My desk, I went with this L-shaped desk. It has a shelf for storage, built-in LED lights, a power strip so you can power everything, and it goes for $129.99. Good lighting is one of those things that a lot of people seem to forget about when it comes to streaming. And I don't mean those cheap ring lights, I mean high quality key lights so you can really make yourself stand out. Good lighting can be the difference between a webcam looking really cheap and really high quality. So don't cheat yourself on lighting. For the budget build, we're gonna go with this brand that I can't pronounce, desk mounted key light for $52.99. And it has a 7% coupon, so there's a little bit of savings there. The 4K build, I chose the Elgato key light. Just like the mic, you can use the app or the built-in software to control the light. And with this one, you can control the brightness or the warmth. This second monitor is going to make running your stream, seeing your chats and alerts, and everything with your streaming experience way smoother. And it doesn't have to have crazy specs, it's really just a screen to look at. So for the budget build, we're gonna go with another 24-inch Sansui monitor, but this one is $77.99. And for my build, we have this Acer 27-inch monitor. I didn't buy it, my job gave it to me. I think it was about $130 or $148, but I'll link it down below in the description. The next thing isn't needed, but it comes down to space and personal preference. If you wanna save a few bucks, go ahead and go with this one here for $29.99. And if you want to stick with the black and white theme we got going, then go ahead and grab this one for $47.99. And there's a 25% off coupon, so it makes it like 35 bucks. So the last thing on this build is going to be two controllers. If you don't care about being plugged up, then you can save the $69 and you only need one. But if you want to actually be able to use the headset wirelessly with no connections, at least connected to you, then you're gonna need two controllers, and I'll show you how to set it up later on in the video.
take my pain and these drugs with nobody around. Put this clip in this stick and I'm gunning them down. My dick in the face till it don't make a sound. Better not play with my clip, no, we don't play around. And I'm smoking this gas, got my head in the clouds. Look him dead in his face like I look at the crowd. I ain't been dropping songs, I've been gone for a while. Ain't gon' talk about that cause I'm doing it now. Hit that bitch from the back cause I'm making a smile. Gotta just let the money stack up till it piles. Hit my phone and they ask how much for a fee. Know they fuck with me like I flew on the beat. I'm at war with myself, I ain't wanna compete. Make him dance with the shop, he be in his feet. And it ain't about to stop till the mission complete.
Normally you only need one HDMI port running from your console to your monitor or TV. But with capture cards, you're gonna need two HDMI cords. One that runs from your console to the HDMI in port on the capture card, one running from the capture card HDMI out port to your monitor, and then last you're gonna need a USB-C port, which all comes with the capture card, to run directly to your computer. So once you have everything connected, you're gonna wanna use OBS Studio to tie everything together. I have a link in the description below for you guys to download. But once you open it up and connect everything, we're gonna wanna add our sources in. So in the sources tab, click on the plus button. Then we're gonna add our capture card first. And you can name it whatever you want. We're gonna name ours Elgato 4KX. And then in device, click the drop down, select your capture card. You can change your resolution. I'm gonna go with 1080p. Scroll down to input format. I'm gonna use MV12, but you can use either of these. And then last, select your FPS, and there you go, you have your gameplay. Now we're gonna add our mic. So we're gonna go ahead and click sources and then plus, add our audio input capture. I'm gonna name it Elgato Wave 3. Then in the drop down, you wanna go ahead and select your mic. I have it muted, but testing, it looks like it's working. Now that we have our mic and our capture card, the last thing we're gonna wanna add is gonna be our camera. So back to the sources tab, go ahead at the bottom and click video capture device. And we're gonna name it the Pocket 3. Go ahead and select it from the drop down. Okay. It's gonna be way too big, and for some reason the Pocket 3 has these bars on the top and the bottom. So to get rid of that, you're gonna wanna double tap on the source. Go ahead and go to transform, edit transform, and on the top crop at the bottom here, go ahead and put in 655. Same thing for the bottom, 655. And then your picture's perfect. So you'll probably notice when you first plugged in your capture card to your computer and your system, nothing happened. And that's because on PlayStation, you have to disable a setting called HDCP. So to do that, you wanna go to settings, then go ahead to system, and then scroll down to HDMI. And where it says enable HDMI, you have to make sure you turn this off. And that'll allow your capture card to pick up everything that's coming through to your console. The last thing we're gonna need to do is make sure our stream can hear our game chat and our party audio. And the way we're gonna do that is using two controllers and the Elgato ChatLink Pro. So what you wanna do is go ahead and turn your headset on, and then also sign into your second account, and then plug the in with two connectors into the controller and the in with the switch into your capture card. And you're gonna wanna make sure the switch is on so you don't have any feedback. Then on your main account, go ahead and start a party. We're gonna use a closed party. And on your second account, you're gonna wanna go ahead and join that party. And then make sure you mute yourself on the controller and also mute your main account. And then you'll be able to hear everything that's going on. All in for the budget setup, we're looking at $1408 after taxes. And then for my setup, we're looking at $4613 after taxes. I want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in to my first YouTube video. Like and subscribe if you like the content, and my Twitch link will be down below if you want to tap in with me there. Yeah, I definitely appreciate y'all for tapping in. More content coming soon. Love y'all. We out of here.
Better not play with my clique, no, we don't play around. And I'm smoking this gas, got my head in the clouds. Look him dead in his face like I look at the crowd.